Hi, hello, good morning. Mm, Hello, welcome. Hi. Hi, hello, good morning. I am extremely, extremely sleepy. um, but it's stream time. Time to stream. It's not time to sleep. It's time to stream. So I stream. My eye itches. Wow. Hi, Janet. Welcome. Present first. Hope you're doing well. Oh my eyes. Uh, I slept real weird. Like, super weird. Sleep deprived log day 3. I can't sleep at all. Help. The voices in my head are also tired. They keep saying, don't waste your time on me. You're already the voice inside my head. Oh my god, Fallout Boy. I guess I gotta start working on this commission. Guys, I found something cool yesterday. Cause a YouTuber that I really like, Stanley a movie. Actually, saying I really like him is a stretch these days. He's kind of fallen off. He's been doing some AI stuff, and it's like, he's still like anti AI art, but like he's been like promoting memes using Sora AI, which like it's a different thing, but like it's still the same, has the same problems. So it's like, But I was checking Makeship to see if his latest plushie was fully funded, because he really wanted his latest plushie to get fully funded. And then I go to Makeship and look through their campaigns, and I find this. VGen has a fucking uh a plushie campaign going on right now. Fucking a VGen plushie. That is so cute. Wait, yesterday it said it only had a day left. They boosted it to another week, I think. Unless I just read it wrong yesterday. Maybe I was super sleepy. But look at this! You can get a little VGen orb. That's kind of funny. I kind of want to get it, but like, ooh, that's kind of that's kind of that's kind of not a great price. I mean, it's a fine price. Like it's picking its non-existent nose on its tongue. What other campaigns are there? I looked through, there aren't many that I even recognize. Oh, emotional support demon, I recognize that one. Story of season. I thought that was a cow from Mario Kart for a second. Oh, Rain Penrose in a shark costume. Mango. Pomni! No, this isn't Pomni. This is Pox. As opposed to... Jammy. Interesting. Speaking of Digital Circus, guys. What is this? Analog horror? Oh, Lavender Town. I love her. I haven't watched her in a while, but she's cute. Poland Ball. Oh, Monster Prom. Oh my god, Monster Prom. Oh my god. Monster Prom. Do they have other plushies? Not for sale right now. They had a Zoe plushie. I missed out. No. Oh no. I saw it. I flipped the fuck out. Right? It was an insane episode. There's the vegan plushie again. I kind of want. Let's go gambling! Let's go gambling! Let's go gambling! That's a stupid plushie. But it's 186% funded, so clearly it's something people want. Is this from Dispatch? This looks like Dispatch. Amnesia Grunt Hoodie. What is that? I'm going here. I want to go here. Oh no, it's Invincible. That's what it is. There were a couple of plushies, a couple of makeshift plushies that I couldn't afford at the time they were going, and now I will never get them. I mean, I can probably find them on eBay, but they're probably a lot more expensive. Hold on, what are they called again? Can I still find them? No, I can't still find them. There's no archive for them. Oh, these are petitions. Like, these are sign up to make these into products. Anything I recognize here? No. Well, I recognize this guy. $136%. You only need like 200 supporters, right? In order to get a plushie. Well, I'm pretty sure Makeshift has to approve it as well.
Mommy?
They won't just let anyone
Sorry.
make a plushie. But I was like, can I get a Makeshift plushie? Let me see, where's the... Here they are. They're super old campaign though. They're all super old campaigns. But I really wanted the Elder Tubbies. I think this was the first one they released, and it was in 2022. I believe the last one they sold was in 2020. Which was the last one they sold? I believe it was this one. Oh, ended 2025. Oh, right. I could never justify getting one, but I wanted all four. I just think they look so cute, and I like the concept of Elder Tubbies. I usually have really strong opinions on like children's characters being used for horror. As you know about my beliefs with Winnie the Pooh, but I believe that some of them work. Right? The problem with Winnie the Pooh being used for horror is that they're not supposed to be scary. And technically the point of Teletubbies isn't to be scary either, but like they have this sort of weird vibe about them. Like, Winnie the Pooh is supposed to be cozy. You're not supposed to think they're scary at all. But Teletubbies are just kind of scary, so making them into horror is cool. Plus, the Teletubbies aren't really horror; they're more like cosmic entities, and that I think is a cool concept. If only I could get the plushies, but now they're long gone, and I'm so mad. Anyway. Anyway, it's about time I actually do my job, right? I was so busy looking at the plushies, I have not paid attention to the chat. Apparently, you guys were also just looking at the plushies. Also, hi Arson. I'm not sure if I said that yet. And congrats on second. I'm waking up a little bit. I slept weird this morning. I did fall asleep pretty early yesterday. Because I stayed up for more than 24 hours. Because I'm silly like that. But this morning was really weird. Because usually I have several alarms, and usually I wake up. If I fall asleep early, I wake up very early, just by myself, no alarm needed. I wake up around like 5 in the morning for some reason. And then I'm like, oh, it's only 5 in the morning. Let me go back to sleep. And then my alarms start going off at like 8. And I'm like, oh, 1 alarm, let's go back to sleep. 2 alarm, let's go back to sleep. 3 alarm, that kind of deal. That didn't happen tonight. Clearly, my other alarms went off because usually what happens is I one alarm goes off, I turn off the alarm, and I grab my phone, and I have it in my hand while I'm sleeping. It's just something I've started doing for some reason. I cannot tell you why. But it's weird because today I wasn't even aware that it happened. Because I woke up this morning, I did not recall waking up before, but the clock is like 9. And I'm like, it's only 9? Why did I not wake up? Why was I not awoken earlier? But I still had my phone like in my hand, so clearly the alarm did go off early, and I instinctually grabbed it, but it didn't wake me up, I guess. And so it was really weird because I felt really groggy. Usually it's like most of my grogginess goes away because I've woken up several times already. But the grogginess was still there, even though it was about time for me to get up and start streaming. And so it took a while for me to actually get out of bed. I also had a fucking not a scary dream, but actually was kind of scary. Fucking Five Nights at Freddy's got into my house in my dream. Toy Chica was there specifically. And no, that doesn't mean what you think it means, chat. She was scary, Toy Chica, not freaky. Update on my location is fucking 33 degrees in freedom units, of course. I don't know what 33 degrees is in freedom units. What 33 degrees freedom units is in smart unit. Paint yourself a Pavlovian response accidentally? I guess. The sleeves are really weird and annoying. But I'm figuring them out slowly. Speaking of the new Digital Circus, by the way, I watched Stanley MOV react to it, and dude, he fucking cried. He genuinely fucking cried at the end of it. And then he did the fucking content creator. Then he did the fucking content creator thing, like, chat, is this justified? Not really like that. He actually did say some pretty intellectual, profound stuff about the episode and stuff, but like, shit, man. I think it's cool when a content creator is not ashamed to cry at a show that's, makes them feel like that. Cause damn, Digital Circus. Though honestly, that episode is making me worry about the end of Digital Circus. Like, what is the ending gonna be at this point? 33 Fahrenheit is roughly about 0 to 2 degrees Celsius. Goose is fucking evil and is not planning anything nice. I am worried because the vibes that I got from the last episode, and this is might be me overthinking it, because the episode is also technically doing the opposite. But it feels like a very anti-fiction story, you know? The characters get so invested in this in the plot, right? They get really invested in finding the exit. Much like you as a viewer get invested in like watching them find the exit. And then they fucking pull the rug from under you and it's like, "Oh, it wasn't real. It wasn't real. You got invested for nothing. Don't you feel foolish?" And that feels really gross, right? But then again, that was what Kane did, and clearly based on the reactions of the others, of the, the good guys, quote unquote. It's probably what the episode is trying to say, that it's normal to get attached to fiction or something. I don't know. I honestly can't tell what it's trying to say. But considering there's only 2 episodes left, and this is where we left off on this episode, I don't think we have time to do a lot, right? I have a feeling they're not escaping the circus. Also, I hate the photo that Jax had in his room with him, Ribbit, and Kaufmo. I hate that photo so much. Because it means everyone else was right when I didn't choose to believe. Like, Ribbit was clearly, obviously built up to be like, Jack's abstracted best friend or something. But I never bought the idea that him and Kaufmo were friends, based on the few mentions we had of Kaufmo in the show previously. And yet, for some reason, everyone fucking rolled with the idea that, he was actually good friends with Kaufmo, and I never understood it. But no, I guess everyone else was right. And that pisses me off. This has happened before with like Hell of a Boss, where like a fan theory is like super popular, and people basically treat it as fact, and I'm like, but it's not confirmed though, and then it gets confirmed in the show, and it's like, that's stupid. But in that case, it's fucking Hell of a Boss. Vivian Medrano probably saw that a theory was popular and were like, oh, well, let me actually make it canon then. Only saw people saying Kaufman was bullied by Jax and Ribbit. And Ribbit was a bad influence on Jax or something. Pissed me off. I don't think that. I think the reason they that Ribbit exists in the show, it's kind of to show that Jax's perspective is wrong. Right? It's to show that he can have friends, right? And you kind of need friends in order to have a good mental state. And it's to show that I always assume that the reason why Ribbit abstracted, it's at least implied, in my opinion, from how I read the show, that Jax is sort of responsible, right? I don't remember what line exactly implies that, but I remember there was some line in the previous episode that said that. But it's to show that Jax is like very wrong and flawed in his perspective on the circus, believing it is not real, believing nothing matters. Clearly, it's his own beliefs are taking a toll on him, as he's been shown close to abstracting in 2 episodes now. And I just think adding Kaufmo onto that is just unnecessary when Ribbit is already there to show that Jax had friends. And now to say that, he was also best friends with Kaufmo, actually, when the pilot, Kaufmo's only quote-unquote appearance, didn't imply that. It implied that he had the same relationship with Kaufmo as he had with everyone else. He was just another guy that he could mess with. And so it always pissed me off to hear people say that they were both his best friends. But now it's confirmed, I guess, because of one single Polaroid photo in Jax's room. And it makes me feel stupid for, not drinking the Kool-Aid. But just, yeah, that's that old man fucking screaming at cloud moment over. Kane's office when Jack stares at one of those inside out memory balls. There's faint arguing, and it sounds like Jax and possibly Ribbit. It might have been the catalyst for Ribbit's abstraction. Maybe, who knows? Jax is definitely the most interesting character in the show, though, I gotta admit. I don't like him. I'm gonna make it perfectly clear. I don't like him like some people do. I respect his inclusion in the series as an interesting perspective, and he's very complex. But at this point, I'm not gonna lie, he feels like Gooseworks is Alistair from Has Been. Writer's personal little blorbo, right? There's a lot of Jacks in the show. I don't know, he feels like a secondary main character at this point. I mean, at least he doesn't overshadow Pomni at all, so I guess it's fair. Fair enough. Don't forget, Goose has said Jax deserves to be in the circus. That doesn't mean it's not Goose's favorite character. Where are you? This fucking bitch over here fucking deserves to deserves to not exist. This is the biggest asshole in the universe. But you're still my little blorbo. Oh. Goodbye, Kinger. I don't know, I wanted to draw him. Wah, 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 wah. Hmm. Moon Knight. Just hope Kinger gets his insect collection one day. He doesn't like insects though. It's just his wife or something. Also, can I be completely honest? For a second, when I initially watched the episode, I thought Abel was gonna end up being Kinger's wife, which doesn't make sense at all. That's just sort of the vibes that I got. The second I saw the mannequin, I was like, I swear to God, if his name is Abel, I'm gonna blow up. Oh my god, wait, they put Fallout Boy in the digital circus? They put Fallout Boy from Aspen Hotel into the digital circus. I've escaped the digital circus, but now it seems like I'm in some sort of has-been hotel. Was that a Lythero video? I believe that was Lythero. Or was it Salty? It might have been Salty, actually. Yeah, it was definitely Salty. Playing, Shadow the Hedgehog 05. Because there's a level there called Digital Circuit. As in, like, electrical circuits. But then, it was like, Digital Circus! And then, like, the level right after is, like, a haunted mansion, like, level. And so Salty was like, I've escaped the digital circus, but now it seems I'm in some sort of has-been hotel. And it's really funny. Not gonna lie, the second Jack was like, this guy's clearly a twist villain. I was with him all the way, but I was still shook when I got the reveal. Honestly, I feel like most people would expect him to be a twist villain, which is why Jax pointed it out to kind of be like, show like, hey, we're aware that this sounds sus. It's to plant the seed of like, not seed of doubt in your mind, but like to plant the idea in your mind that it's because like if it's a real twist villain, then they wouldn't even have pointed it out that this is kind of suspicious. So pointing it out like subconsciously makes you think like, oh, the show is aware, which means it's very likely that it isn't a twist villain. How often is a twist villain that is an actual twist villain called a twist villain, right? Usually they make you trust the character like just by themselves before they are a villain. Which usually leads to bad twist villains where you don't even buy that they were a villain the entire time. But still, if it's a true twist villain, they don't really point that out in the fiction. Then Norsk slipped out for a second. I know. It's because twist villain. I don't even think it was that my Norwegian slipped out, even though you do say twist as twist in Norwegian. I think I was about to say like twist villain or something. It was just a slip of the tongue. Eyes. I like drawing eyes, but not at this angle. It's a weird angle for eyes. I wonder what would happen if they press a blue button. Yo, Arson, lock the fuck in. They would go to Shrimp Town. That's what Bubbles said. They would go to Shrimp Town. Pay attention. Don't ask me what Shrimp Town is. I just know that it takes you there. Not gonna lie, I was too busy trying to compute the fact Jax was right. I didn't even notice Bubble was there. I believe, like, Ragatha asked what would have happened if they pressed a blue button, and then Jax was like, I was so sure you'd press the red button, I didn't even think of that. Hey, I made Bubble decide where the blue button would take you, and then Bubble, like, fucking slides on screen and says, "I'm gonna take you to Shrimp Town," and then Ken was like, "Yeah, some Shrimp Town," just like that, actually. I was sat there like he was right, but like they said he did it from Mega Mind. I mean, I don't think the fact that he was right is that, you know, notable. I mean, even Jax was mad about that. Sure, he laughed when fucking if he was right, but it was more like a maniacal laugh, not like a success laugh. Maniacal is not the right term, but like the point isn't that he was right. Because like he was distrusting regardless. If this was all just a he wasn't like a smart guy. He wasn't smarter. He wasn't smarter than anyone else. He's just distrusting of everyone. There's nothing special about him being right in this situation. And he was just as hurt as everyone else when, like, sure, he had the fucking I was right moment and his fucking psychotic laugh. But right after, he realized, fuck, I was right! And then fucking started yelling at Kane. Sure, he pressed the stay in the circus button because I assume some sort of psychological, like, or subconscious part of him thinks, I can't leave the circus. I have nothing in the real world. I have nothing in the real world. I deserve to be in the circus for the way I've acted. But still, the idea that this was all fake and there is no way to leave the circus still makes him feel bad, because like it means that there's no hope. Sure, he doesn't believe he deserves a chance of hope, but he probably thinks the others deserve it. This is what I mean with Jax is the most complicated character in the show. I just wish I didn't hate him. Because I still fucking do. And I'm gonna keep hating him for as long as he is he's Gooseworks' little nepo baby. Like Ragatha was established as like the opposite of Jax. And yet we haven't focused on her perspective in a while. Sure, she's been there, but the focus hasn't in a while been on her perspective and experience in the circus the way it's been on Jax. And we only have 2 episodes left. If it had been both Jax and Ragatha to have 2 like complex perspectives on the circus, the positive and the negative, I would have been fine with it. But because it's just Jax, and Pomni has essentially just become a POV character, it kind of pisses me off how much Jax we're getting. He's become the Urkel. Some people are pointing out that he might have been manipulated by Kane to press red, citing his confusion at his own actions and the fact he was so mad about Kane messing with their brains. I believe it's more like, sure, he brought up the messing with people's heads things because it's something that's probably been on a lot of their minds lately because of the, as you mentioned, the vegan thing and the stupid sauce or whatever. But I think he meant more like Kane got in his head, right? In the same way, like humans get into other humans' heads. It's more in a, not like actually messing with your head, physically messing with your head kind of thing, but more like human level manipulation, right? Also, hi Val. I just think he had a panic attack, right? He was freaking out at the idea of being able to leave when he subconsciously doesn't want to. And so instinctively, like, press the red button. Kane was not responsible at all. But you know, Jax got mad at he lashed out at Kane because even if he subconsciously didn't want to leave, he still like believed that there was hope for like a second. And then when that hope, that little speck of hope that he finally had back was false, he snapped. I totally get it. I hate drawing eyeballs. People speculate Kane straight up made him press red, straight took the reins. Yeah, I got that. I got that people are saying that. I'm just stating my opinion on what I think happened. I'm not sitting here trying to say, oh, people aren't saying that. I'm just saying, even if people are saying that, that's not what I believe. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, goddamn stupid fuck shit. I agree with you all the way. What you said makes way more sense. Here's the thing I really like about Digital Circus. Digital Circus makes it abundantly clear that these characters are humans. Because one thing that is easy for people to forget in a piece of fiction that doesn't revolve around literal humans on literal Earth is that even like in a fantasy setting with like dwarves and elves and orcs, every character that you're meant to relate to is a human. Right? In like a Doyleist perspective, everyone is a human. Because if people weren't humans, you wouldn't be able to relate to them. Every character in everything is written as a human, even if they're physically like a cowboy doll or a talking car. Looking at you, Pixar. They are human. And despite, you know, Digital Circus having all these wacky cartoon characters, they make it abundantly clear that they are human. Or were human. So they act like humans. They have human minds, human perspectives, human emotions. It's a huge plot point in Digital Circus. And so, like, chopping fucking Jack's having a panic attack and like instinctively pressing the button to stay in the circus and then saying, oh, it's because Kane took over his mind. It takes away some of the humanity of Jax's like experience there. What I like about Digital Circus. One thing I really like about Digital Circus is the way it's kind of... It has this meta-narrative about, like, fuck, you hear this... You hear this fucking word thrown around a lot, but, like... Media literacy, right? Digital Circus explicitly says that these characters are human. They think like humans. They have experienced emotions like humans. I had a point to starting this this sentence, but I've forgotten what it was. I put on the fucking rock cam and I forgot to actually pet the rock. Like, people are so fixated on the fiction that they don't think about the message these days. That's why people say that media literacy is dead, because people they don't look outside of the fiction, right? They take the story at face value without looking deeper. But Digital Circus is almost begging you to think deeper, right? I think 50-50 sometimes. There's too much overthinking, then there's too much underthinking. That is true. There have been cases in like there's this one channel on YouTube that I really dislike. I still watch his content, but I dislike his content. It's this guy who's called A Lamau, AYYLMAO. He makes like content about indie animation, like Digital Circus and Has Been Hotel and such, and it's mostly shorts content. And you know, the thing about the YouTube algorithm is that you have to keep pushing out content, and so the usual cycle, this is why I really hate his content, the usual cycle he ends up going into is new thing comes out, he talks about new things, he makes a lot of shorts of things that actually matter in new thing, but then he runs out of actual good things to talk about, and so at some point he's just reaching for things to talk about just so he can put out more shorts. And that's what I think is like overthinking to the point that it ruins the media literacy. Because at that point, no, you're not really talking about anything. You're just saying things. Saying things is not media literacy. You're taking something so insignificant and trying to make a plot point out of it. You know what I mean? Obviously, no hate to this guy. Like, get on the grind, I guess. It's not hurting anyone. Well, it is hurting anyone because he's a very popular, like, creator within the indie animation sphere, and a lot of people listen to him. So he is kind of hurting the media literacy of specifically Has Been / Hello Boss, Digital Circus, other indie animation fans. Before I go to my next point, do you care about Transformers Prime? Is that the Cartoon Network show from like the the 2010s, early 2010s. I watched it. I didn't care much about it. And if it's not that, then I don't know what you're talking about, so I don't care. My friends have been watching Transformers Prime currently, and one of our friends who joined midway through the episode started talking about how Starscream is abused because he's a femme character. Whilst I agree he's femme, it's not the reason he's abused. In fact, it's the opposite case. He's for one a man, shown to be capable leader. The whole reason Megatron abused him is because he's insubordinate, and it proves Megatron's power that he's still overthrown a better leader than himself. While I agree with the case on I agree from a Watsonian perspective. I agree with the okay, it's not actually Watsonian. It's still pretty Doyleist. I agree with the fact that Megatron's abuse of Starscream is in service of Megatron's character rather than Starscream's character. But I'm gonna get woke for a second. Characterizing Starscream as effeminate as he was in Prime is probably related to the fact that he would be abused by Megatron. It's the queer-coded villain trope, right? I'm out of coffee. I can't draw eyes for the life of me. Ah! His films Megatron has a female companion who isn't insubordinate, he doesn't abuse her. Megatron abuses people who do not serve him correctly. Would do it with other characters too, and then Knockout, who is more effeminate than Starscream, actively flirting with Optimus. Starscream and other male characters isn't abused because he follows the rules and actually isn't a fool. That is not what I understand what you're saying. I need to formulate my thoughts better. I'm struggling with the facial expression. This just looks creepy. I don't believe femininity of Starscream has anything to do with it. I mean, it has nothing to do with Megatron's characterization, but it has to do with Starscream's characterization. Megatron doesn't beat Starscream because he's feminine, but I believe the idea that Megatron would be abusing Starscream in the show influenced the idea of Starscream's characterization in the show. How do I formulate this in a way that is understandable? Obviously I'm not no expert on Transformers, so this is just my woke perspective as a media analyst. Like when they were writing Starscream for the show, they probably took Starscream, looked at his key characteristics, which is, you know, being a Megatron second in command, but wanting to, you know, overthrow him and all the other things that he's known for. And they took that and came to the conclusion that making him a more effeminate, like, queer-coded villain, TM, trademark, would fit his character well. Right? Am I making sense? I'm talking 100% about the characterization of Starscream and nothing about saying nothing about Megatron. But a huge part of Starscream's character is being subservient to Megatron, which probably is part of the reason they decided to make him more effeminate in Prime. He's a gay little henchman. That's a trope. No, that's better. He was very loyal in episode 1, actively killing an Autobot for Megatron. Not entirely sure, but I can see where you're coming from. Just because he wasn't like that in episode 1 doesn't mean that they didn't have his future, like, figured out. They still had a lot of history of Starscream to work from when characterizing him. Just because he was loyal in episode 1 doesn't mean, like, oh, that the writers at the time were like, oh yeah, we're making a Starscream loyal in this one. No, of course not. He was loyal in episode 1 doesn't mean shit when they already had several more episodes planned by that point, I'm sure. And a future, like, character arc for him planned. To be honest, it's a lot nicer than my other conversation. Because I'm a nice person, for the most part. I like having... I might be a little aggressive at times when it comes to expressing my ideas. Especially when my ideas don't come through that well and people misunderstand what I'm trying to say. But I like having polite conversations about media like this. It's weird because usually I don't because you'd think you'd think like it would be a 50-50 split of people who view media in a Watsonian way and people that view it in a Doyleist way. Because I usually default to viewing media in a Doyleist way. But I notice most people I talk to think in a more Watsonian way. For those who don't know, since I'm throwing these words around a lot, um, in case some people don't understand what I'm talking about, Doylist and Watsonians are two words used to describe how we look at a piece of media. It comes from the names come from Sherlock Holmes, with Watsonian referring to the character of Watson. Meanwhile, Doyle refers to Arthur Conan Doyle, the writer of the book itself. It essentially means Watsonian is viewing a piece of media in universe, and Doyleist refers to viewing a piece of media outside universe from the perspective of the audience, the writer, and such. I usually like viewing media in a more Doyleist sense. I think it's more engaging, right? To view like what something means and why it's written a certain way, rather than just arguing lore, right? Although that's also fun sometimes. I think Starscream's character works for him being a little gay boy. You have a point there. Clearly, the writers for Transformers Prime were onto something. But then ask yourself this: why does that characterization work for him? Think of why it works for Starscream as a character, right? Does it maybe have something to do with him being subservient to another man? Because I don't know, that sounds pretty fucking gay to me. There's a reason why this is a trope for like villains. Especially in Disney movies, they always have gay little henchmen. Or Arachnid XRC Toxic Yuri. Waiter, more Yuri, please. I need to do the face. I think I need to do the face. I think I need to work on the face. The face looks so bad. So creepy looking. Why did it end up this way? Hmm. I think I need to come back to it. Um, I wanted to also do a redesign of Vox. I had a vision in my mind. I had a vision in my mind for Vox. But hey, look at my cool Alistair design. I put it on the Discord yesterday. But in case someone didn't see it, look at him. He looks he's still just as red. Maybe I should have made him less red. Nah, I don't have a problem with the red in Hazbin Hotel. Most of my issue with Alistair's design is it's his hair. It's his hair. I hate his hair. I'm gonna be completely honest. I hate Alistair's hair. No. Hmm. Never mind. I don't want to. Pokemon. I like my witch hat drippy, bro. I'm sorry. Do you guys think Game Freak would ever make a Pokemon based on the Black Plague? Do you think they ever would? Or do they think that's a step too far? Is that a bit too dark for them? I personally don't think it's too dark. Not for Pokemon, no. They're not afraid to get a little bit morbid with some of their Pokemon. So I feel like the Black Plague. I mean, I think it's enough time since the Black Plague that no one is gonna be offended that they make a Pokemon. It's kind of a very important, like, historic moment in Europe. If they never make a Black Plague Pokemon, I would honestly be surprised. But now we've been to Now we've been to fucking France, England, and Spain, and no Black Plague Pokemon. I'm glad you guys are having fun talking about Transformers. I'm sorry, that was such a backhanded comment. I shouldn't have said anything. I'm sorry. Do you ever draw something while watching or either listening to like a YouTube video or something? And then when you go back to the drawing, the specific like part of the drawing that you were working on reminds you of the video you were watching? Because that's happening with this tail. It reminds me of a video I was watching while I was drawing in. I was watching the newest Nikhil Clayton video where he reacted to that fucking Avengers fucking animated movie from like 2008 where it's like the children of the Avengers. I forget what it's called, but you know which one I'm talking about. Should I make the snout look more like a plague doctor mask? That would be kind of fire, honestly. Nah, it already looks enough like a plague doctor mask while still looking like looking like a looking like a rat. I don't think I have to change it that much. Oh, that's right. I should probably leave the eye blank so I can add color to it. I'm not feeling great about the pre-evolution. Because I like it in theory. Because it's supposed to be like, if I turn it upside down, it's supposed to look like a little flea, right? Got a tiny little head with his little mouth thing sticking out. It's got a big round body and some long ass legs. And I just gave it a rat's tail because it had to look like a rat. But it kind of doesn't. It feels like there's a step missing. But I don't know how else to make this work. So maybe I'll just leave the rat on its own without the pre-evolution. I do love it in concept though. It's kind of like a Remoraid Octillery thing where like it's more like the concept evolves rather than the actual creature. But like I still made it look like a rat. So it's still like it works a lot better than Remoraid and Octillery, even though Pokemon fans have just kind of accepted that Remoraid and Octillery are a thing. So it should be something that like Fakemon artists play more around with, like a concept evolving rather than a creature evolving. Yet I don't see many Fakemon artists do that. Usually Fakemon artists are like, oh, you gotta be consistent with it. And I get that, but like I think a little bit more creativity is in order. Anyway, rat. Nah, that's not right. That looks pretty good. I should probably think more about the lower body, actually. The fact that it's just a dark blob. I mean, it's not something modern Pokemon would do. Modern Pokemon would think more about it. But classic Pokemon would just be like, eh, it needs a shape, just make a shape. Right? So why so many early gen Pokemon were just blobs with things on them. That line still confounds me. It makes me believe that Prince wasn't always homophobic. If he's able to like casually in a song make a joke out of how people think that he's gay, that it sounds to me like he didn't hate gay people that much before. I feel like it must have been a later development in his life. Of course, I didn't know the guy, so who knows? Maybe I'm just stupid. What colors? I'm thinking black, white, and green. Maybe purple. Maybe blue. Maybe like a really bubonic plague. How does someone look when they're infected by? Oh, that's an AI generated image. Cool. Oh, that's horrific. Definitely can't show this on stream. Jesus. Hi Bailey, welcome. Hope you're doing well. How is it going for you? slap some color on this goober. I don't know, this looks like a nice base color. I'm existing, just going to rest a few more before cleaning up the condo. Nice. It's nice to do some cleaning. Well, it's not nice to do the cleaning, but when you're done cleaning and you can sit down in a clean space, it's like, ah, wonderful. That reminds me, I should probably clean my room one of these days. Congrats on third, Bailey. You know what? I will pet the rock for you. I'm back. Congrats on 69. Hmm. Hold on a moment. Can I just hold on? If I oh wait, I need new layer. If I okay, that doesn't do shit. Okay. Wait, if I hold on. I want to see if this is a easier way to color. If I do this, because I like my nice little textured brush, and then I do this and that. Huh. A lot easier. I am so smart. Look at that. How does it look like without the line art? Pretty good. There's some remains behind here. Hi, Sever. Welcome. I'm petting the rock. Whee! My hands are so bony. I'm so skinny that like my you can see the tendons on my fingers. Skin kind of scrunches up around my knuckles. Makes me look old. I have old person hands. Anyway, color. Is that normal? It probably is normal. I'm just self-conscious about it. Check this out. That's a lot of skin. That's a lot of skin I can pull. Probably is normal. I'm just self-conscious about it. Sorry, I didn't mean to push you out of the way, Rocky. Anyway, rat. I can probably make the hands the same color as well. I pet the. Wait, that's illegal. You're supposed to pet the rock. No, 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 no. Now what? One moment, I like gradients. Pokemon doesn't usually have gradients in a lot of their design. But they started doing it more and more. So I think it's fine if I do it. But what color to make the end of the tail? I want to do a sickly, like, green color. This is not a poison type green. This is like a grass type green. That's too right. More a bug type green. That's the hold on. Let me look up poison type. Let's see if any of them are green. Poison type. Purple, 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 purple! They're all purple. And the ones that are a little green are bug type. Except Gulpman. And Trubbish, but that's a trash bag. Actually, Alolan Grimer. Oh my god, Alolan Grimer. I forgot. I forgot. Hold on, let me get your color. Let me steal your color. Let me steal your color. Let me steal your color. Okay, that looks fine, actually. Hmm. I don't know if that looks right. Also, it needs a third color, I feel. No, it definitely needs to be hue shifted a little bit more yellow. Hmm. Does this look like the plague personified? I hope so. That doesn't look half bad, actually. Actually, hold on. If I... So it's like a gradient going from dark to light. No, I don't think that's gonna work. I think the idea of the colors is good. It's just the distribution that is weird to me. That might be a little bit better. I think this green is still off. It's not what I have in mind. This better. Honestly, yeah. I think that's the color I'm looking for. Now I just need to make this color stand out a little bit more. Maybe it needs to be a little bit desaturated. Yeah. And to bringing this magenta a little bit more. First out, let me make that a little bit more red. I think it should be a little bit more reddish rather than purple. That's still very purple. Put that at the end of tail. And then okay, that looks horrible. Yeah, the purple just kind of disappears. Okay, now the darker green looks a little bit weird. Yeah, I think I like that. Maybe a little bit of, I'm doing a lot of gradients here. It's not what Game Freak would do. Who cares what Game Freak would do? Game Freak wouldn't even make a bubonic plague Pokemon. I don't think, at least. Who knows? Maybe they would. Ugly little freak. Ugly little freak. Stretch. Whew. Oh my god, Sunday, what the hell? Always hear spamming my DMs in the middle of stream. And I already know exactly what it is she's saying. I don't even have to open the DMs to know exactly what it is she said. Rat, we rats. We're the rats. We pray at night. We stalk at night. We're the rats. No, wait. Rats. We rats. We're the rats. We pray at night. We stalk at night. We're the rats. I'm the giant rat that makes all of the rules. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into. Man, the little rat. I need to redraw the little rat. Oh, never mind. Sunday did not send what I thought she would at all. Rat. 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 Did I accidentally spit on my tablet? Oh no. Rat. Alastor. Yeah, the eyes. Eyes are very soulless. But what kind of expression to give them? I don't know. Make it look real angular to match the evolution. Looks something like a flea. And this looks a lot more like a rat now. Gotta give it some sort of legs, I feel. A lot more like a rabbit. That's just kind of happens when trying to make it look like a flea. Still pretty flea shaped. Ah, this creature is killing me. In all honesty, it looks more like a pig than a rat. I think it's mostly the nose. Okay, now it looks fine actually. But now if I turn it upside down, I mean the flea shape is still there, that's what's important. Creature. La criatura. I feel like I need to change it a little bit so it doesn't just look like a baby version of the evolved form. Like, I want the concept to, like, evolve into the big one. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this creature now. I feel like if I make just a regular sewer rat, that would kind of be better. But like, I like the fact that it looks like a flea. If you squint, if you don't look at the nose and the feet and you squint, it it has the basic shape of a flea without really looking like one. Oh god. Yeah, I still need to figure out the face on this one. Uh, but for now, I think it's time to end stream. I think so. We're past the 3 hour mark. I can end stream. I just feel like my motivation just hit a wall. Just suddenly. But we can go look for someone to raid. Stretch. Okay. I think we're gonna raid Stella. Elastical. It's been a little bit since we raided them. So I'm gonna put in a little raid message for you guys. Also gonna have a drink of water. Right? It was right. Camera has several light settings. It looked a bit dim on the cam for a second, but I guess it wasn't. This is usually the level I have it on. Oh shit, I think ads are gonna play soon. I can't have ads playing mid-raid. No. No. Oh man. I guess we just sit here for a second. Yawn. But yeah. Stream. Sorry, I think I zoned out for a second there. Uh oh my god. Yeah, I think it's a good time to end stream. I think it's good that I didn't keep drawing for another like half hour because I'm a little bit out of it. Suddenly, I don't know why. I don't know what happened, but I'm a little whoa. Oof. But yeah, we're just gonna wait for the ads to finish up, and then we're gonna start. And we're gonna start the raid. Seems like they finished up. Blah. Man, I don't know why I'm so out of it. Maybe it's the commission. Usually working on commissions is really chill because it's like I don't have to think about what I'm drawing. I just have to draw what I've been told to. I usually get it done pretty quick. But I don't know, I'm struggling a little bit with this one. It just, I can't get it to look the way I want. Also, I think I'm just a little bit sleepy today. Surprisingly sleepy. Probably because I slept weird tonight. But who knows. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I'll be back tomorrow playing some Marvel Rivals. New hero is out. Yippee! But yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, night, evening, whatever time it is for you. As always, remember to eat food and drink water and take care of yourself. Take your meds if you have them, if you need them. And make sure to copy the raid message and say hello to Stella during the raid. But yeah, bye. Bye, everyone. Bye, Sever. Bye bye. Bye, everyone. Bye bye. Bye bye. Goodbye. 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 Bye bye. Bye bye.